is this heart chakra awakening leading to? What passionate energy are we inviting in? Because I do feel like it's passionate. Ooh. Liar? Because why was Liar the first one out? Okay. Ooh, okay, interesting. Okay, this tracks with what I was hearing. So before I even started this, what made me go into more of this focus was I was hearing Video Phone by Beyonce. You like what you see, you want a video me? So Liar clearly one, someone lied about like how they feel about you. Also, it's not lost to me that Beyonce herself is an earth sign. Virgos stand up, Virgos rise. Virgo could be very, very significant. You were this person, heavy Virgo energy, and that tracks Virgo because Virgo is very, very detail oriented, very hard on themselves, very neurotic. I'm a Virgo rising, I can say that. Very uptight, but because they strive for perfection, right? Because they you know, there's just otherworldly energy to Virgo. So because you know it's this massive sort of this massive sort of debt they feel that they need to sort of pay here in this lifetime. This might come out wrong, but it's like the essence of Virgo, because it's so otherworldly, they put such a high like order on themselves, such high expectations of themselves. It's almost like Virgos don't fully understand, like energetically, like they understand it, right? But don't fully understand that they are in fact not gods. They are in fact still human and cannot do the impossible in that way. And I feel like there's a tendency for Virgo, especially Virgo moons, Virgo rising, to beat yourself up for that. I feel like someone needs to hear that, because that was very much it's so funny. I kind of get this way when I start to this is interesting. I'm gonna have to explore that later. Ooh, okay. I'm getting that something was lying about what it is that they actually wanted here with this like manifest confirming liar. Intimacy at the bottom here. Maybe even what it is that they want out of the bedroom. I'm also getting like someone coming into their own, like sexually and you know, within their own, like I'm picking up more feminine energy, because I was gonna say like womanly, like sensuality, and that's something that we've been sort of like teetering on the edge of within the last few months here, especially working with Persephone and Hecate. That sort of initiation into the sacred dark feminine, right? Like your wild, your raw sensuality, you know, power, owning that, harnessing that, and not being afraid of it, not being ashamed of it. Earth sign. So it's like whatever it is that you're doing, and that, to be honest, to be honest, this could be taken as a separate reading, but it was meant to be in conjunction with the reading that I just did. So take that specifically as it resonates. Pregnancy confirming earth sign is crazy. One of you could be expecting. And when we pulled the tarot, the Empress was the last card of the deck, and the Empress in this deck specifically here, Light Seers, she looks pregnant, right? Like she's pregnant with the world. She's birthing something. So if not an actual baby, you're birthing something, which I think one of my last readings also was like, what are you being called to birth? What's coming out here? And so it's like whatever it is that whatever fine line that you're walking right now, not like a tightrope kind of puppeteer thing, but really like a delicate balance, dancing with your shadows, right? It's what I said. That is allowing you to birth something, and putting an ease on that is doing a lot more for you than I think you realize. But also, some of you could be pregnant, some of you could be getting pregnant. That is something that's been coming up since, I don't know, May, June. Commitment. I'm seeing this more as like a commitment to yourself. I thought this was gonna go love way, but it might not. But intimacy did come out, but ooh, hold on. This just took a turn. So I was saying that as more as, I was like, oh, but intimacy was out, but also we were talking about, you know, embracing your own like sensuality and harnessing your sexuality and not being ashamed of that. Very much, again, sacred, dark feminine energy, but confirming commitment was communicate. Why do I feel like this is more like on the feminine side? Like as in the feminine was the one who like didn't necessarily know what it is that she wanted. Perhaps, especially because Virgo was coming through and a Capricorn as well, perhaps more concerned with what she was creating, right? It's giving workhorse, it's giving Queen of Pentacles energy, unevolved Queen of Pentacles energy, but moving into an evolved level, evolved energy, right? Because also because it's safe, sourcing safety and security within yourself, and not having to be perfect and complete. And so maybe this, I'm hearing two things with this. It could be that you yourself, I'm reading your energy, right? And because you have reached this point in your life, because it was also a big duality thing, right? You're no longer sitting in unevolved Queen of Pentacles energy. You're learning to also harness and sit in the King of Pentacles energy. King of Pentacles came out in the reading before, and it was a very prominent thing that we spent time on. So it could be because you're learning that something is being birthed here, and it's commitment, it's love that's coming to communicate something to you. And this could be something that you lie to yourself about, like this, you know, kind of like being hurt in love and like, you know, I don't need love. I don't actually want that. I just want to focus on my work and what it is that I'm growing. And it's like, baby, you can do both. Two of Pentacles at the bottom here. It's like, babe, you can do both. You can have it all. You don't have to choose, right? It's not something like you don't have to walk away from one or the other. And now you understand that. Let's see, manifest. Yeah, you thought this was a no. You thought this like wasn't possible. It's giving like when pigs fly, but it's also giving those things don't happen for people like me. You know, that kind of energy. And it's like, it's lie. Liar told you that. It's lie. Pregnancy. If you know where that's from, drop it in the comments. Ooh. Yeah, date night. Get ready to be wined and dined. Also, with date night coming out over pregnancy. Intimacy being a huge thing here. I mean, hey, look, if that's what you're going for, go for it, right? Like, but it could just be that, yeah, a switch in your dating life is coming. I'm seeing that Moonology card What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? Oh, I just lost it. Oh no. Oh no. Something like not your commitment is being tested. A new romantic cycle begins, and it's a Libra card. And we got a lot of like balancing of the scales that came out in the previous reading. And again, here, Two of Pentacles is at the bottom of the deck, and behind it is the Star. So it's like a new romantic cycle is beginning for you. That is what's being birthed. That's what's being, and the earth sign as well, that's being grounded down into your reality. That's what's coming. And I said specifically Virgo moon, Virgo rising. Pisces is in your 7th house, and Saturn is moving out of Pisces. Saturn and Neptune moving out of Pisces, moving out of your 7th house. After, as a fellow Virgo rising, I feel you. I feel you. This could be very, very beautiful here. Communicate. It's like for sure like a new romantic cycle is beginning. And I think the point of this here is that you need to stop lying to yourself about what it is that you want in connection. And I actually touched on this in a reading the other day. Oh, I'm pretty sure it's Mercury. I see a card. I'm pretty sure it's Mercury retrograde. So this could be something, yeah, I mean, this could also be something like new cycle, like with someone who was already here, right? Because Mercury retrograde talks about, car issues, wires crossed, a lot of miscommunication sort of things. Think about in romance novels, the miscommunication trope, the third act miscommunication breakup. Hate to see it. Hate to see it. It's so pointless. It's like everyone around you is like, what? You, the reader, is kind of like, what are you guys doing? But it has to sort of happen. You know what I mean? It's giving universally that. And there's some confessions that are gonna come out of that, some truths that are going to be revealed. And confessions here doesn't necessarily mean that something bad is going to be revealed. It's just that things are coming to light. You're going to start to see why there is this like retrograde energy and Mercury retrograde coming out. And I'm specifically talking about Virgo, who's mercurial. Yeah. Let's get one more, perhaps. No. Okay. That's it. Hold on, let me get this card on the ground. Okay, I had to grab that. And yes, it was indeed Mercury retrograde. And you saw that we were pulling to see if anything else would come out, and it didn't. But they'll be back. It's at the bottom of the deck here, right? Something that you're not expecting with someone, something that you had to let go of, or they had to let go of you, right? Probably as you kind of walked into your own purpose, right? Had to really rise into some energy within yourself, really see the goddess that is you, but also accept the humanity that is you. We talked about that at the beginning here, of kind of that walking that fine line of feeling so other, because everyone always says that Virgo is so practical, and forgetting that its sister sign is Pisces, the least practical sign there is, the most untethered sign that there is, but not untethered in a bad way. I think that Pisces gets a bad rep, sometimes warranted, but I mean, that could be for any sign, right? But because Pisces rules the 12th house, right? Pisces sits in the 12th house, the unseen, the unconscious, right? They can be not taken as seriously, but you're forgetting that Virgo sits on the opposite of that axis. Virgo just brings the unseen here into the world, into the 3D. But Virgo is just as like otherworldly, just as untethered as Pisces is. And Virgo also is the maiden, like Demeter energy. And I don't know why that's Demeter, but also Persephone, right? Speaking very much to Persephone's journey, Persephone's descent into the underworld, right? And kind of rising, coming out of that as both goddess and sovereign queen of the darkness, of her depths, owning her feminine wiles and that sort of thing. This is kind of all over the place, but it's coming out this way for a reason. There was something I was saying. I might have lost it. Hold on. I don't fully know, but because Virgo has the like view of themselves that they do, right? So harsh, so hell-bent on perfectionism, but also kind of also feeling this otherworldliness, but the heaviness of the 3D as well. It can be hard to come into your purpose, because the big thing we talked about in the previous reading was not being the best at something, right? Like understanding that you don't have to do the best at something, especially at the start. You can be a beginner, you can make mistakes, you can fumble and everything, and still being whole in that, still being valid, and your existence being worthy and warranted, and all of these sorts of things. So it's like you had to come into this, and it was facing your shadows and understanding that you are imperfect. You are in fact not a god. You have very much goddess energy, and this speaks for, and this is, you know, non-gender specific. You have very much goddess energy, but you are not a god. You're human here, right? Accepting that and working within the confines of this human system, and that can feel very stifling for Virgos. I mean, I would even say for Capricorn as well, because Capricorn is so structured and Saturn ruled, and Saturn is playing a big role here. The key signs here: Virgo, Capricorn, and Pisces, and a bit of Aries as well. Yeah, heavy cardinal and immutable energy. A lot of shifts taking place for you guys. Be on the lookout for the eclipse in Virgo, March 3rd, and the eclipse in Pisces, August 27th, I believe. I could be wrong on that. I'll have to check, and I'll put it on the screen. So my point was, okay, yeah, I got it now. Tying it, there was a reason why I had to go down that tangent. Tying it back to a few minutes ago of Saturn moving, especially for anyway, specifically for Virgo risings, but again, it applies to all other signs that I just mentioned, and it specifically moon and rising, but sun's applicable as well, and Venus, and just bear with me here. The reading I did a few days ago spoke about owning the parts of you that were emotionally unavailable, that feared vulnerability, and that kind of sabotaged yourself. So this feels very similar to that, of understanding now you also don't need to be perfect within love, which not being perfect in love means showing up vulnerably, showing up authentically. You've learned how to do that within self. You've accepted yourself and how it is that you present in the world, how it is that you're meant to navigate through the world. And now you're being asked to do that within relationships. Can you show up imperfectly in relationship and still believe that you're like worthy of being loved, being poured into, of being considered valid, right? Can you not put on a facade? Because that's not true connection, that's not true intimacy, not true vulnerability. That's not allowing yourself to really be seen. And it kind of defeats the purpose of the work that you've done within your underworld, and it does not speak to sovereignty within self that's hiding in the shadows. And you've learned to dance with your shadows, right? You've learned to embrace them. And so now you need to embrace them within relationship. You need to understand that it's okay. You're not going to be perfect at this. You're not going to be perfect. And it might not move as quickly as you would like. And that is probably a good thing for you, so that you don't like get scared. And that's why I mentioned, what was it, the whole like miscommunication thing. It's like certain things had to happen. Certain things had to happen because you would have gotten in your own way, because you hadn't done the work yet. You had to go through certain things. And this year has been that, of needing to go through certain things to gain the experience, to gain the understanding of yourself. And I mean, let's be honest, the signs that I mentioned are all very aware. All signs are, but specifically speaking to Virgo and Capricorn, right? Like very much aware of themselves and their issues, probably hyper aware. That just made me lose my thought. I might not have been meant to go down that. It'll come back. Let's start pulling. Nine of Swords being the first side is crazy. Nine of Swords, Four Swords. Shut the freak up. Talk about mentalness for Virgo. I mean, and again, Capricorn as well. But if it's like, this is got to be specifically for my Virgos, because I keep saying Virgo. Nine of Swords, Four of Swords, Seven of Swords, Three of Swords, I believe. Yeah, Three of freaking Swords. That's crazy. That's crazy. Four of Swords straight out. And that's the Three of Swords reverse, which is really good, which is exactly what we want to see. Four of Swords reverse as well. So it's like being in this mental prison, being stuck, being stagnant, lying to yourself. And that was the person that came out here with this deck, right? Liar. And Seven of Swords did come out. It's lie. Liar told you that. Deceiving yourself of what it is that you actually want, and keeping yourself in this mental prison, keeping yourself trapped. This was keeping you stagnant. And now you're releasing that. It's very important that you understand this. It's very important that you accept that you want to be loved. That you want close interpersonal relationships. This doesn't just speak to that, but because owning your sensuality and your sexual power was a big thing, I do think this speaks to relationships. It is very important that you continue on with the heart opening that you've done, and continue that on in relationship. Allow yourself to show up as you are. It's okay to not be so hyper independent. It's okay to need someone else, to want someone else. And you know what, even more specifically, like, just, it's okay to want someone else. It's okay to love someone and want them in all manners of desire. It's okay to desire things. It's like, no, you don't need anyone, right? And that's been a big part of the journey, helping you stand on your own, for you to see that, right? You're seeing that you're able to stand on your own here. And now, and we've been talking about shifting into maiden energies as well. That's why Virgo is so important here, because Virgo is the maiden. Not maiden as in some damsel in distress, but just like maiden. Allow yourself to be taken care of. Allow yourself to fall in love, to want love, and to, to seek it out, and to not necessarily always have to be the strongest person, the most emotionally resilient person, right? Miss Fix It, Captain Save It, all these things. Like, that's what we're moving into. You're getting yourself out of this mental prison because it's done nothing but break your heart here, right? Like you've thought that you were content with this lone wolf energy. You're not. You're not. You're not. Yeah, you can do bad all by yourself, but you don't want to. And that's something that you've really had to accept. That's something that you've really had to come to terms with. You don't want to. You want someone else. You want connection. You want love. You want passion. More passion, more honesty, right? Like you want that, and that's okay. And it doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you weak. And you're about to be tested with that. Literally, 9 of Cups at the bottom of the deck, follow your heart. You're about to be tested with that. It's okay to follow your heart into love. It's okay to give in to passion, give into it. Like we've got to go more into this, but feminine desire is very important here. It's okay to get lost in that and trust that you won't drown in it. Trust that you know your limits. Trust that you can come out of it, right? Trust that you're worthy of it. This is part of following your heart, and that this is part of your soul's calling, right? This higher purpose that's put on your life is to understand, hey, I can be maiden. I can be this beautiful, delicate thing while also being sovereign in my depths, right? I can walk that fine balance, but I can also walk the fine balance of this purity and innocence and levity and playfulness, and this sensual, sexual, like powerful, desirable being, right? Really, really owning that. Knight of Swords, 2 of Cups here. I said some communication was coming in. And really what I'm getting here is this more clarity in what it is. This is you coming to decisions about what it is that you want within partnership. What it is that you want, what it is that you need, and what it is that you are allowing yourself to go after, and what it is that you're allowing yourself to receive. This is beautiful energy. Knight of Wands, we have the Knight of Cups, we have the Knight of Swords, we have the Knight of Wands here. More passion, more energy. This is action, baby. This is action oriented. This is you're being propelled forward. And shut the fuck up. It's Seer the horse. Seer horse. The Knights in tarot are on horses. And we have the Knight of Pentacles out at the bottom of the deck with the previous deck, the previous reading. All nice. This is all action in all aspects of your life. This is like major groundbreaking shifts in your energy, shifts in your presentation, shifts in how it is that you feel, how you navigate your feelings, how you follow those feelings, right? That desire, your own energy, how you show up in the world. This is like charging forward, understanding I am changed. I have shifted. I have grown. I've seen the depths of myself, and I've seen higher heights, and I'm attaining those higher heights, and not from a place of perfectionism, from a place of embodied duality and strength and softness. Because a big thing of strength within tarot, which again came out in the first reading, is this quiet, this delicate, gentle, compassionate sort of strength. It's giving soft power. It's giving you're finding your soft power and you're embracing it. You no longer need to charge forward like with force. Yes, you are a force of nature. You're a force to be reckoned with, but you can do that in softness. You don't have to dominate, and that's never been you. That's never been your energy. That's why you've been stuck in such this like mental prison, this anguish right here. All these swords came out heavily in the other reading as well. That's why you like trapped, because that's not in alignment with who you are. And now you are shifting into alignment with who you are. You are done breaking your own heart, because I just started hearing unbreak my heart. Yeah, that's what you're doing for yourself here. because you're releasing that. You're releasing the need to, the need to be something that you are not, and getting comfortable with being who it is that you are. Queen of Cups. This is really, really beautiful. This is really beautiful. This is a huge release that's coming up here. And I really think that you're going to start to see this manifest. This is why Virgo is so important. Yes, I think that the astrological sign, right, or astrological placement of Virgo in your chart is important, right? Especially if that's in your big three. But also let's take it to rising as well. But specifically this Virgo eclipse that's March 3rd, I believe, that is important. That is important. And we talked about how we are in the test phase. I just did a message on that. By March 3rd, not definitive, but it's coming up for a reason. You're going to start to see these shifts within yourself, like tangibly here in the 3D. It's already happening. You're already working towards it. You're already really getting more comfortable sitting in that energy. And I talked about nervous system regulation. Excuse me, confirmation burp. This is the energy that you're learning to hold. That's what the next I just got so excited. That's what the next 3 months is about for you. Is to sit in this energy. There's it's like you've done the shedding. And again, we said this in the previous reading. Oh, I'm amazed at how all this is connected. I did not expect any of this when I sat down to do readings just now. It is like, I don't know, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I am buzzed, babe, buzzed. You are, this is quiet, beautiful power that's being anchored into you. This is a sovereignty that you've never known, a sovereignty that you never expected. It looks different than you ever thought that it would. And I could cry. Oh my goodness, this is very beautiful energy. I didn't expect this at all. This is like really big stuff. These are seismic shifts, right? I'm seeing like tectonic plates, like very much earth-shattering, like structural changes that are happening within your life, and not tower-wise. This is cosmic alignment. This is the divine at play here, the divine working through you as you really, really anchor into who it is that you are, and your true like divine purpose. I've never gotten so emotional in a reading. I oh my goodness. It's like I'm hearing this is what you came for. It's like this is what you've been working towards. And again, this isn't perfectionism. This isn't everything's gonna fall into place and be perfect. It's you understanding that it doesn't have to be, and that you're worthy and that you're valid, right? It's that kind of energy. And it's going to flip your life on its head. It's a full 180. Things are going to be so different because you're going to be navigating the world. Temperance here, navigating the world differently because you're going to settle. And Temperance was the first card that came out in the previous reading. Because you're going to be sitting in a different energy. Wow. Wow. Let's close this out, please, Spirit. Oh, that was beautiful. Oh, not the King of Pentacles coming out again. 8 of Wands, 10 of Wands. 8 of Wands reversed, 10 of Wands upright. This is the end here. This is also what you need to anchor in. It's like you struggle to believe that things will get better. You know you've been doing the work, right? You again, you're also connected in a different way, right? To the unseen, to the otherworldly. But it's very hard for you to kind of trust that at this point. It's you accepting that this is the end of this stagnancy, this lack of motion, of things not taking flight, of you not being propelled forward, of carrying the burden of that. and the burden of needing to be perfect and all of that. Also, this is big for like my oldest daughters. I actually, controversial, might lose y'all, I don't like the emphasis on the plight of the eldest daughter, and that's because I'm the youngest, but I'm also the only daughter. So I feel like I get the experience of being this is not about me, but I feel like I get the experience of being the eldest daughter while also being the like younger sister. And so I feel kind of left out. I don't know why that was important to mention, but it was. But I don't know, just releasing the burdens of this kind of stuff, right? Of no longer needing to prove certain things. And that's why I mentioned it. Because it's like, no, like just no longer needing to prove stuff. And this really ties into just a quick little update that I did on Christmas, just about, you know, me and how I'm presenting in my family. And it also has a lot to do with the message that I just put out. It was very short. It was, I don't know, literally right under 5 minutes here. But it's the end of burdens, and it's the end of you really more so sitting in this lack of self-worth, lack of sense of self, sense of security, sense of stability. This is you stabilizing, this is you grounding, this is like your own sacred divine masculine. Energetically, it's happening. You're about to start seeing it tangibly here in the 3D. I don't think you've ever been able to see yourself as this King of Pentacles energy. You've only ever operated from a Queen of Pentacles reverse, right? From that very uptight, overworked, and again, word to eldest daughters, right? Like, who never really get to have a break, never really get to be poured into, always have to take care of everything for everyone else. And never really like get to like nurture themselves, right? But also kind of because of that, being restrictive and being controlling because they had to be controlling because that's what kept things in line, right? And a lot of you were children, right? I'm really speaking to also parentified people as well. You never had the space to learn the healthy way of doing these things. And so this stable King of Pentacles energy, this embodied divine masculine, is foreign to you. Somehow I just lost the King of Pentacles. If this was the King of Cups this entire time, that would be hilarious. But I also think there's a reason that I still said King of Pentacles. I'm pretty sure I thought I saw King of Coins, but oh, I did. It's just King of Cups is at the bottom of the deck here. I got a little confused. I don't even remember what I was just on with Spirit, but King of Cups, Queen of Cups, and Two of Cups was the last card that was out. I didn't actually speak on love here, right? Like the counterpart aspect of it. That wasn't important. That wasn't the thing that was important. You're not ready for that just yet. We've spent time talking about that, right? Talking about where the divine masculine is and their own journey and you know what it is that you need to be doing. And right now, because it's so close, you need to really focus on, and I'm getting chills as I say this, you need to really focus on receiving, being receptive to vulnerability, to softening that hard shell that you have hidden behind that has kept you surviving. And part of why you feel so lost right now is because that version of you is gone, is you know, bye-bye, is bones. And we talked about sending that into the graveyard and doing a farewell for that, right? And this is the point of you going into your underworld and all of this, honoring the life, death, rebirth cycle, right? really harnessing that magic, that power, and then how intrinsic it is to us. And so it's really important that you continue to let it die off, because you've done all the work, it's there energetically, but to bring that down into 3D requires intention, it requires conscious effort, right? It's a choice. It's a choice. You've made the choice to do the work. It's a different thing to make the choice to live it here in the 3D. And again, I don't know why this is making me so emotional, but this is really, really beautiful energy. It's heavy, but it's heavy in such a like things are shifting for you. You are shifting, you are changing, you are growing. And on some level, you never thought it was possible, even though you've been doing the work this entire time. And it's like, now it's coming, it's happening, it's coming into fruition. And all you just need to do is to just keep yourself open to the possibilities, right? To the miracles. I'm seeing the Land of Milk and Honey card from the Wisdom of Oracle deck. Like, you need to keep yourself open to that, to understanding that is coming, and to remember that yes, Virgo and Capricorn and whatnot are practical and detail oriented and structured, and kind of neurotic because they're mercurial, but also kind of overly structured and overly disciplined because of Saturn, right? And to understand that it doesn't have to be that way all the time, right? You need to find joy. You need to cultivate joy. That's what's going to help you receive, is cultivating joy and peace, and not just peace in solitude. You've mastered that. Peace, interacting with the world. Because it is time for you to start getting out into the world. It's time for you to start being seen again in one way or another. And safety in connection. Yeah. This is gonna bring up some Six of Cups here. This is gonna bring up some major childhood wounds for you. And it's just important that you understand that you don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to be willing to remain open. That's the entire point. Be willing to keep your heart open. Anyway, if this resonated with you, please let me know. I'm gonna close it here because this is heavy energy, and I get. Well, we're gonna. This is probably gonna be a huge focus for the next 3 months as we sort of navigate this energy and really ground it into being. So this won't be the last that we hear about this. Clearly, this is something that Spirit feels very, very heavily about, very passionate about. It's clearly very important for the last 9 years. The last 9 years is significant, but I was gonna say the next 9 months, right? Like the last 9 months of the year, March through the end of 2026 and moving on into 2027, because the things that are popping off in 2027, I wouldn't even be able to get into it with you because it's unfathomable for you at this time. But that's what we're working on. That's what we're spending the next 3 weeks working on. It's really seeding miracles within ourselves, the possibility of miracles, and not even the possibility of miracles, the expectation of miracles, and sitting in the sovereignty of that, of, hey, yeah, like miracles happen for me every day. Miraculous things. I don't have to always do everything by myself. And I just saw 444 because this is at 44 minutes and 44 seconds where it was. So yeah, this love of self is bringing in a whole new love and connection. And you ain't got to be perfect at it, but you just got to remain open to it. And that's the message. I love you so much. Have a wonderful night. Bye.